Well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon for a few of you. I always like to start the webinar just with a quick sound check. So those of you that are viewing visually and are on your computers, if you would please just post a message in the chat to let me know that you're able to hear me. And always, you should be able to see in the chat box, there are some downloads. There is a PDF of this presentation, along with a full product ingredient list and a wholesale price list. So again, I want to make sure that everyone can hear me. So I'm just going to post a note in here. So I've just posted in the chat. Can you please let me know that you can hear me? So please post if you can hear me in the meeting. Great. Okay, so I've got some responses there. Fabulous. I always like to do that first because one time we did try to do the meeting and there was some kind of audio problem and people couldn't hear me, and I didn't know that until I had been talking for quite a while. So today I'm focusing on our organic creams. This is a very specific webinar for that focus, and it's more focused on how we're going to retail the creams. But again, some of you that just came on, make sure that if you're able to download the PDF of the presentation, and if you don't have it already, our product ingredient list and the wholesale price list, especially if you are new or haven't signed up for a wholesale account yet. So just a little bit about me. I'm Dawn, and I'm the Dawn and Dawn Lorraine. I'm doing the presentation today. I currently do all of the webinars. At some point in the future, I might have additional help, but I actually love doing the webinars with all of you, so it's fun for me. I have been a spa professional for over 25 years. I started out as a massage therapist in the industry, and then I became an esthetician. I'm also a hypnotherapist, although I don't practice that anymore. But I am still a practicing esthetician in the facial room. I only see a few clients a day, but I am still hands-on. And so I think that's important because I've created a product line for estheticians out of my own personal experiences in the facial room. I'm also a pretty avid environmentalist and an animal lover. Many of you who know me or follow me on Facebook will probably see that pretty clearly. And then I'm also a supporter of everything organic. I've tried to live an organic lifestyle for a very long time. And this extends into many aspects of not just my personal life, but also our business model and how I run the business. So it really truly is a sustainable business in any way possible. I have a personal passion for the reduction of single-use plastics, especially in our industry. This is why our products are in glass. And if you want to learn more about this, as I know a lot of you who are interested in our brand are interested in it because of the sustainability factor in organics. And there's some great sources for finding out more about this. It's a very important issue that not a lot of people know a lot about, and I'm personally dedicated to impacting our industry in that form of education and exposure to information about this so that we can have a positive impact on the planet. So in today's webinar, I'm going to cover briefly a little bit about our company. For those of you that have been to previous webinars, some of this will be a repeat. And then we're going to go into each cream. And I've designed this webinar a little bit differently than some of our others. I'm going to open it up for questions with each product that we cover because we are just covering the creams. And I want to talk about the different retail recommendations. And I want you to have the opportunity to ask questions about specific products or client concerns. And then I usually, if needed, we'll open it up to questions and answers at the end, although we may not need that. We'll just see how we go. But I want to go in depth into each cream and address the different kinds of skin conditions and also the kind of client that tends to be the right fit for that product. Because I was reminded this morning on Facebook, I check on there every morning, and someone asked about selling and retailing. And I just want to remind everyone that selling really is about finding out what our clients' needs are. What are their primary skincare concerns and issues, the things that matter to them? And then how do we pick the right product for that? So sales isn't necessarily about feeding our clients a ton of different ingredient or product knowledge. A lot of that they're not going to remember. It will go over our head. But what really does matter is finding out what they want and need, asking them questions. For example, what is most important to you? What would you most like to change in your skin condition? Is there anything in particular that bothers you about your skin? And then picking the right product to support that. And you may give them some ingredient information, maybe one or two things. But there's a tendency in our industry to really hyper focus on learning as much ingredient knowledge as you possibly can, which it is important because we need that information to be able to pick the right products. But that doesn't always translate to our client. And so I really felt like I wanted to speak about this before starting the webinar today, because it is a particular focus that really makes a difference in terms of our clients being happy. We've probably all had that experience where we've been trying to make a decision about something and someone's feeding us a lot of information, but that doesn't necessarily help us decide, well, which widget is right for me. So the single most important thing to do is really find out what your client needs and wants. What is it that matters to them? What is it with their skin that they would like to change or improve? And then picking the right thing for them. Not necessarily picking, our most popular product or our favorite product or maybe what we had on sale that month, but really targeting it for the skincare client, because that really is what sales is about. Sales is helping them. And if we can keep our focus there, and anytime you're trying to help someone, they feel that, they know that, it comes across, and it has an impact, and they will remember that. There's this very famous saying that people may not remember what we say to them, what we tell them, but they will always remember how we make them feel. So that's really important, just in considering how we target our sales to people, how we figure out the right retail products for them, how we meet their needs. So just a little bit about our company, Dawn Lorraine. I call it conscious skincare because truly in every way I'm trying to help skincare professionals make a difference. So there's several aspects to making a difference. One is making a difference in your own personal practice, having success, having products that clients love and that they will repeatedly buy and they will come back for more, having treatments for you in the facial room that get results and that have a luxurious and wonderful experience for the client. And then also making a difference in our broader impact, being eco-friendly, having a product made in the USA, a smaller company, supporting planet-friendly practices and making a difference on the grander scale. So there's lots of levels to this. And to do that, we offer a full range of retail and professional products. The retail line is small enough so it's manageable for you, but we also have professional back bar only products that your clients cannot buy and use at home. They actually have to come to you to experience those treatments. And it's designed to meet all the different needs and the different types of clients and skin conditions that you will encounter in the facial room. We have a full range of organic fruit peels and enzymes, and then masks, again, to address all the different skin types. And then also the treatments are super luxurious and results driven. I'm very sensitive to smells in products, so all the smells of the products are really wonderful, and they're phthalate free, non-toxic, non-chemical. And so the idea is to get really great results with organics, which for many years a lot of our industry said that wasn't possible. But the truth is actually you can dramatically change people's skin. You can make a difference for them. You can make a difference in your own practice by getting those kinds of results and having them really happy with the products they're using. And then you can also make a difference in the planet by choosing something that's sustainable on many different levels. And just to go into that a little bit, what makes us different? What makes us more sustainable? There's a lot of great companies out there. And what's really fantastic is I'm seeing more and more in the industry a move towards more conscious ingredients, more consciousness in terms of education for customers, purity in ingredients. And so we at Dawn Lorraine really believe that just like with food and nutrients and how our body benefits most when we choose nutrient dense, high quality, pure foods, the same is true of our skin. Our skin really responds well to products that are super high in nutrients and ingredients that benefit skin function. So a lot of our ingredients are organic, wild crafted, and high nutrient. I kind of joke that I throw the whole fruit bowl in a lot of the products. They're very high in antioxidants. A lot of fruit extracts and enzymes, which are very beneficial to the skin. But then also being the, results driven esthetician that I am, and I want my clients to really get results. We've also added some of the newest cutting edge ingredients to some of the products for those clients who want those, and also because there's incredible advances in science in our industry. So going organic doesn't necessarily have to be a rejection of the scientific progress that our industry has made. When I started out in this industry, you could have a nice experience with clients. You could start to kind of fight off some of the aging, but now you truly can change a client's skin. You can reverse the hands of time. You can heal their acne. You can really make a difference in their skin. And some of that is the result of some of the cutting edge ingredients that are available today. Our products are also free of artificial colors and fragrances. So there's no color added to any of the products, and all the fragrances, as I mentioned, are phthalate free. So they're non-toxic. And then also the products are paraben free and sulfate free. In addition to using conscious ingredients, another element of a sustainable or conscious business is the kind of practices that they incorporate into their daily routine in the business. So at Dawn Lorraine, we really do work hard every day to be very conscious. A lot of people who know me personally affectionately tease me as being an eco-Nazi or an eco-terrorist. I'm a rabid reuser and reducer and recycler. So I've tried to really infuse that into the business in every way that we can. So the company we buy most of our bulk ingredients from, they use wind power in their facility. We also, and they also employ the disabled. I have a brother who has mental illness, and so that is another issue that's very passionate to me, matters a lot to me. And then we really keep things minimal in our packaging. We don't have outer boxes because to me, as someone who cares about sustainability and reducing my impact on the planet, it just doesn't make sense to have packaging that's unnecessary. It uses fossil fuels. It ends up in the waste stream. So we don't have it. And then the products are packaged in glass because glass is just far more planet friendly than plastic. And I won't get into all the details about that, but there's a huge issue with plastics, especially single use plastics compared to glass, metal, and cardboard. We also reuse and repurpose everything that we can in our business. So when our ingredients come to us, we save anything that can possibly be reused. So when you get your order shipped to you and there's bubble wrap lining the bottom of that box, that is repurposed by us. We don't buy any new plastic to package our products in. We don't buy styrofoam. We reuse everything that we possibly can. We store it. And then what we do purchase is only recycled materials. So paper wrap, things that are not made of plastic but are made of sustainable materials. Even now, in shipping, anything that has liquid in it has to be in a plastic bag to protect it. I recently made the switch to completely biodegradable, compostable plastic bags because we're really producing a higher volume now, and I couldn't justify using those as a sustainable company. We even use recycled plastic bags in our trash cans in the office. The paper that your invoices are printed on that come in your orders, that's a bamboo sustainable paper. So every way that we can, we're trying to be conscious. And then also our products are not tested on animals. I believe in respecting other creatures on the planet as having value equivalent to us. And so there's no testing on animals of any kind. So we really do try to make a difference, try to be sustainable in every way possible. So this is really important to a lot of clients these days. People are looking to invest their money, their hard-earned resources, and their time and energy in businesses and practices that take the planet into consideration, take animals into consideration in their practices every day. And so when you're telling your customers about carrying our product line, this is a really important piece of it that does matter to them. And a lot of people really are beginning to see that the number one way that they can make a difference is how they choose to spend their money. And one of the ways that they can choose differently is by choosing companies that are taking all these issues into consideration. So I'll get a little off my soapbox there about all that. I could talk about that all day. But a little bit about why is it a good line for you as an esthetician? As I mentioned earlier, I am a practicing esthetician. So this product range is really created by an esthetician for estheticians. It is designed for you to use in the treatment room. That right there is actually a picture of my facial room. And I only use our products. I don't have other things that I hide in the cabinet that I pull out to use. I only use our skincare range. And so if I'm working in the facial room and I encounter an issue that I don't have a product that meets that need for, I will create something for that. So we have a full range of both retail and professional, as I mentioned. And one of the things I was really strong about with first launching the line was that I wanted to have professional products that your clients cannot purchase. So some companies do this where the masks and the peels and all of that are available for the client to purchase and take home and use. I don't believe in that because we want something that they have to come to you for. Something that's special, that smells really great, that gets more results than they can get at home, and that they actually have to come and have a session with you to receive. So the professional line meets that needs along with the organic peels. Those products are not available for retail purchase. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, the products have really luscious scents. Why is this important? So this webinar is about retailing today, retailing products. What is the first thing that a client does when you suggest a product to them and you put it in their hand? They open the jar or the cap and they smell that product. And if it doesn't smell good to them, they're not going to buy it. Scent is a huge selling point in skincare products. So for that reason, and also for the client experience in the facial room, all the products are very luscious scents, wonderful, yummy scents. Clients will be receiving their facial and saying, oh my God, that smells so good. It smells like I could eat it. We have a new peel, a cocoa cream one. People love it because it smells like chocolate. What woman doesn't love chocolate? So this is an important piece of selling. And when I mention that, in terms of those of you that might be new to retail or uncomfortable with retail, one of the most powerful ways that you can sell a product to a client is you put it in their hand, they get to feel it and touch it, and then you open that jar and let them smell it. I highly recommend having testers in your retail area. Invest the money to have them so that you have all the products there available. Or if you're very small and just starting out, have tester sticks in your facial room so that people can, sample products. You can put a little on their hand to try if they're not sure if they want to buy it or not. Have a way for them to have an experience of that scent and the physicalness of the product to sell it to them. Additionally, we have no order minimums. I'm also very strong about this. Excuse me there for a minute. I talk a lot and my voice starts to go. Excuse me. So we don't have any order minimums. That is for so many reasons. One is, as a practicing esthetician who's been in the industry for a very long time, I've been through some economically challenging times. I've started a few different businesses. I know what it's like to not have $3, $4, $5, $6,000 to invest in a product line. So we've made it really easy for you to get started with our product line. Additionally, a lot of estheticians like to carry more than one product line, often a couple product lines. Not having any minimums of any kind allows you the flexibility to pick and choose what works for you out of our product range so that you can custom tailor your treatments to your practice. You could order one of something or you could order 100 of something. The flexibility is there for you. And then also, as I mentioned earlier and went into great detail about eco-friendly practices, all of our estheticians that carry our line are very holistic oriented, eco-friendly, organic oriented, and they tend to have a client following that is oriented that way as well. So we're going to go into the creams now. And as I said, I will be changing the meeting settings when we go into each cream so that people can post questions. You can also put a question in the chat box, and then I can respond to it as well if you don't want to, if you're on the phone and you don't want to, I'm sorry, my brain is not connecting there. If you want to make it private, you can make it private just to me, or you can post it to everyone, is what I was trying to say. So we have a small sampling of creams. This is not an extensive line with 20 different face creams. I've tried to pick creams that meet the different skincare needs. So we have our blackcurrant, cranberry calming, citrus radiance, grapefruit clearing, green tea balancing, lemongrass enzyme, pomegranate lift, and wildberry nutrient. If you notice in the name of each product, it's telling you what that cream does. So if you're ever confused, if you're new to the product line and you can't remember, if you just look at the product name, it tells you right there what it's designed to do. So the grapefruit cream is designed to clear the skin. The blackcurrant cream is hydrating, very rich. The pomegranate cream is your firming, anti-aging. The word lift is in there. The wildberry cream, super high in nutrients. That's your antioxidant cream. So this helps a little bit too in terms of if you're new to the line or you just started carrying it or you've added a couple of products you didn't have before. Very quick reference right there just in the name of the product. I felt this was really important. It also communicates to the client what it does. So we're going to go into each cream. Give me just a second here. I want to change our audio settings so that
all attendees are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Okay, so hopefully you just heard that little announcement. I hit the button too soon. So you can unmute yourself by hitting *6 to ask a question, or you can also post a comment in the chat box. So blackcurrant cream, blackcurrant hydro cream. This is butter for your face. That's the perfect description for it. This is the cream for your client that says, my face is so dry, I need butter on it. We all have that client, and especially if you live in an area where you're at a higher elevation and it's drier, or maybe you're targeting an older clientele. So this particular cream is made to be super rich. Of all the different creams, it is the richest of all of our creams, and that's why I call it butter for the face. It has shea butter, macadamia, avocado, kukui nut, and pomegranate oils, very rich and nutritive, but it also has a small amount of enzymes in it, which help gently digest and dissolve the dead skin. So in terms of retailing this particular product to a client, as I mentioned before, we want to find out what our client needs. So if we have a client who says, my face is just so dry, nothing that I try ever works for me, I've tried everything, this is the product for them. And how I encourage them to understand how it works for them is I explain a little bit about the enzymes, that they digest and dissolve some of that dead skin without sensitivity. Often people who are very dry, they tend not to exfoliate because they don't want to irritate their skin. And then I also just very briefly explain the different oils. You can sound those off in, a few seconds. It has shea butter, macadamia, avocado, even if that's all you can remember, or that it has pomegranate oil in it. These are super rich, nutrient-rich oils that really benefit a very dehydrated and dry skin. This is also good for your mature, sensitive skin. So again, that client that comes in and their skin is very dry, but it's also sensitive, and sometimes it's sensitive because they've been trying various things and they haven't worked, or the skin is just so dehydrated it's made it hypersensitive. So this product is the perfect remedy for them. And I just explained to them, if I made this product for clients who need butter on their face, as soon as you say that, anyone with really dry skin is going to respond. Now, if they have a negative reaction to that, then you know that it's too rich for them. It's not the right product for them. So any questions about this particular cream? Any questions on how to retail it? What kind of communication with clients you might want to have? Anything that anyone wants to chime in with right now, please feel free. Or if you have a specific question about any of the ingredients. Okay, I know someone has to have a question. Well, maybe you don't. So when I'm retailing, and feel free to pop that question up in the chat box if you think of something. When I am retailing to people, I usually ask them two questions. What is your primary skin concern? So I find that out first. What have you tried so far? So I get a sense of what they've already used. And then I just ask them also, how much time they're out in the sun. This is an important factor because if I'm going to put them on something with a lot of alpha hydroxys, I need to know how much they're in the sun because I need to make sure they are using sunscreen. So if I ask a question what their primary skin concern is, and they say dryness, you automatically know that this is the cream for them. Now, sometimes people will ask, oh, is it a day or a night cream? All of our creams have been designed so they can be used either day or night. That's why they actually don't have sunscreen in them, so that they can be either a night or a day cream. And then if they ask that question, one of the things I will say to them immediately is, well, do you prefer a heavier night cream or do you prefer a heavier cream during the day? So again, I'm always bringing it back to them. This is so important in retailing anything to any client. Bring it back to them. What is it that matters to them? What is it that's going to make them happy and feel like they get results? Now, we will occasionally run into something where their idea of what they're supposed to use is just completely crazy or off, or they read something really weird on the internet that makes no sense. And we always have an opportunity to educate. But for the most part, most clients' needs are pretty simple. Oh, I'm dry, or oh, I don't like my wrinkles, or my face always breaks out, or my face is always irritated, or whatever it is. It could be something specific. I really don't like the lines in between my eyes. So in terms of retailing this product, it's going to be that client who says dryness is their primary concern. Now, in terms of selling this to them in combination with other products, this could be a day or a night cream. Some of this depends on their age. Some of it depends on skin condition. It also depends on environment. It's really common for me with a lot of my clients that run dry is in the summer, this is their night cream, and either the wild berry or the citrus radiance becomes their day cream. And then in the winter, this is both their day and night. Or I might put them on this during the day and lemongrass at night. Again, a richer cream. So in terms of retailing, just remember you have the flexibility with this, but it does make the nicest, richest night cream for those dry types. It's also, even though it's very rich, it doesn't have a greasy feel to it. So hopefully that covered enough on that. Please feel free to ask questions. Part of the idea of the format today for you is that you have the freedom to ask questions with each product. Normally I leave that at the end of the webinar, but I really want you to have an understanding of these products and have your questions answered. So someone just asked, how long do these typically last a client? So this is a really great question. So if they're using it once a day, the product could last them anywhere from 4 to 6 months because the products are very concentrated. If they're using it twice a day, on average, it's going to be 2 to, I think the most would be 4 months. But I have had clients that I don't know if they're, bathing in it, but they buy a new cream every month, and I'm astonished that they could use that much. The products are in a 2-ounce size and are very concentrated, so you don't need a lot. So on average, 2 months would probably be the shortest amount of time on average a product would last them. 6 months would probably be the most, and that would be someone using the product once a day and pretty sparingly. Okay, so I also see, what is the shelf life? So we guarantee the products for a year from the date they're produced. The date that they're produced is on a little a little sticker on the bottom or the back of the product. So that's what that date is. So it might be, 2/16. So that means it was made February 16th. It's always within this year. Although we're probably going to start making it a 3-digit because we're producing a lot more than we did before. But in general, the products are guaranteed for a year. So if they purchase it in February, if we make it in February, you purchase it in, I don't know, say April, and you don't sell it to them till May, it's still going to be good for them until the following February. So they do have a good shelf life, and they don't need to be refrigerated. So the next cream is Cranberry Calming Balm. This product is actually really, really popular for clients who have rosacea. Now, it wasn't originally designed specifically for that purpose, but this product is kind of in between a mask and a cream. That's why we call it a balm. It has a nice, heavy, thick consistency, but it's not super rich in oils. I call this one instant redness relief. It has a lot of arnica in it, comfrey and panthenol. It can be used as a moisturizer, or it can be used heavier as a mask. It's perfect for post-waxing, or if you have a client you're doing a lot of peels on, anything that's going to irritate the skin. I highly recommend putting them on this. So in terms of selling this to the client, this is the client when you ask them, what is your primary skin concern? What is it that most bothers you about your skin, or what are you most wanting to change or improve with your skin? And they say redness, an irritation, broken capillaries. Or maybe they've come to you because I had this recently. They had had several laser treatments and their skin was just completely irritated and they needed to get it back to normal. So the arnica in it is instantly anti-inflammatory. It reduces bruising. And then also comfrey is very soothing and healing to the skin. There is some shea butter in this. And then panthenol is a great ingredient because it draws moisture deep into the skin and helps restore barrier health. Now, I don't go into tons of detail explaining to my client what that means because most of the time they're just not going to remember. It's the rare client that's studying the science of skincare. It's really important we remember this when we're talking to them, because we speak this whole language that they don't know what we're talking about. Just like, great example is my brother is a computer geek. He does some kind of IT specialist. And whenever he comes over, he starts messing with my computer and he starts talking a language that I have no freaking idea what the heck he is talking about. And I usually have to say to him, would you please speak English? I don't know what you're talking about. We have to remember with our clients that it's the same for them. They don't know what glycolic is half the time, or what barrier health is, or, any of that, why pH matters. They just want their skin to look great. So I will explain those to someone if we're doing peels, or they've had a lot of laser, like the person that came to me recently, or they have broken capillaries, that there is a protective layer on the skin that helps protect against environmental damage. And that layer of the skin can get disrupted by ingredients or environment or treatments. Really basic. That they can understand. And then I explain to them that this product helps to soothe and heal the skin, and it restores that natural protection that the skin has. Again, really basic. This is a great way to present and sell this product to clients. When I first created this, it was meant to be just a treatment room only product for post-waxing. I do a lot of microderm, post-microderm, post peels, but clients really loved it. And I have a lot of clients who use this as their nighttime treatment cream. So for example, a client that has a lot of broken capillaries in the cheeks, they can use this just along those areas where they have inflammation and broken capillaries as a treatment cream underneath their other cream or on top of their other cream, either way, at night, just as a protective treatment type product. So this is something good to keep in mind. Another way to use this product, and a great retail selling point with this product, is if they're using a regular scrub of any kind, to have them use this directly after the scrub. It just calms the skin down instantly, and they'll really love the results. Any questions on this particular cream and retailing it? Questions that you might ask a client, anything like that? Okay, you're all just too smart. That's okay, it's good. Okay, so our next cream is the Citrus Radiance. So I call this one Naturally Brightening. Oh no, the picture's wrong. For those of you watching, the blackcurrant cream is in the photo. It should be the Citrus Radiance cream. That's obviously my bad. Anyway, so this cream naturally helps brighten the skin. It has a small amount of vitamin C, and it also has cranberry and rosehip oil. The vitamin C is a very bioavailable vitamin C, non-irritating. So this is for that client that when you ask them, what is your primary skin concern? I'm just going to keep reiterating that because it's so important. And they say, well, I'm starting to get pigment, but there's someone who you don't necessarily want to use a lot of intensive pigment lighteners on. So this is where vitamin C comes in really handy. Vitamin C is very naturally brightening to the skin. It builds their body's natural UV resistance. So it's a great suggestion for clients who are going to be outdoors a lot, but they're concerned about pigment. These are hard clients to work with because they usually come wanting results. They're bothered by pigment issues in their skin, but a lot of times their lifestyle is a major contributing factor to preventing us from being able to get the kind of result we might want to get with them. So this is again where asking them those questions about what their skin concerns are, what do they want to change, but also finding out their lifestyle. So in terms of selling this particular product to clients, this would be the client that I ask them what their concern is, and they, really concerned about pigment, or they might say brown spots. They don't even often use the word pigment. They'll usually use the word age spots or brown spots or liver spots. That's the more common term that normal everyday people and not estheticians use. And then I ask them, well, on average in a day, how much time do you spend in the sun? Really super important question. Because if they say, well, I go horseback riding for 2 hours every afternoon, or I'm a skier and I'm up on the slopes all day long, we know that most of the time they're probably not remembering to reapply sunscreen every couple hours. So we know that's the kind of client that we don't want to put them on kojic acid. We don't want to put them on a lot of fruit acids. We don't want to be doing a lot of peels. We don't want to be doing the kinds of treatments that bleach and fade the pigment through burning, bleaching, what's the other, and triggering pigment reduction through acids. We want to go at it a different way. And one of the ways we can do that is high amounts of vitamin C. So this becomes a good cream for them for daytime. Now, again, this can be a nice nighttime cream too. It's a little rich in terms of comparative richness, whereas blackcurrant is highest, cranberry is a little bit lower. This one's on the high end, I'd say middle to high. It's not super light, it's not super heavy, and it meets a lot of different skin types. We sell a lot of this particular product. So that's your ideal client, your outdoor type who has pigment issues and wants to work on them. We still want them using sunscreen, but we know they may not be super religious about it. Any questions on this cream? Great question. Could it be used on oily skin? I would not recommend Citrus Radiance for your oily skin. It's a heavier oil cream. So for your oily skin type person who's outdoors a lot and has pigment, I recommend the green tea balancing, which of course we're going to cover, but just to mention that now. So this is a richer cream. It's not as rich as blackcurrant or wildberry. It's very similar in richness to the lemongrass enzyme cream in terms of oil composition. Okay, so our next cream is the Grapefruit Clearing cream. Again, Grapefruit Clearing. This is our acne cream. This is our oil-free cream. So I call this one the Breakout Buster. I like giving them these little names because it just helps you remember. It has fruit acids. It has natural salicylic from willow bark, grapefruit, witch hazel, mint, and camphor. For moisture, it has hyaluronic acid, and our hyaluronic is a botanical hyaluronic acid. And then it's not derived from animals. And then ocean minerals. And so those are your ways of getting hydration into the skin. So this one is that client who comes in for acne treatments, and they've been using Proactive or something like that, and they want a more natural alternative. So this is the client who breaks out, has more active acne. This product is oil-free, so it really is your true problem congested skin acne product. It's very purifying and healing to the skin. In addition to the willow bark and the grapefruit oil, it also has sage oil, which helps to reduce inflammation. So in terms of retailing this cream, this is a really nice one for your acne client. It is a little tacky feeling though. It's almost impossible to make an oil-free cream that isn't tacky. Usually what people will do is use silicones to give it that slip. But since we're a silicone-free line also, what we've done is put in the hyaluronic acid and the ocean minerals to provide moisture, but it doesn't give it the slip that an artificial silicone will give. So it can be either a daytime or a nighttime. What I find with most of my acne people is they do a little better with this at night because it is a slightly tacky feel depending on how oily their skin is. And it's not always the best for them during the day under makeup. And since often your acne prone clients are going to be your people who are applying more makeup, you want to make sure that they try this during the day on a day off. And this is one also that I will very often give a sample of before selling it to them, because every so often you get someone who they're just so used to the silicone based products that they have trouble adjusting to it. So if I give them a free sample and I encourage them to try it at night, several nights in a row, usually after using it for 3 or 4 days, they're happy with it. Any questions on this particular cream? Also, in terms of retail recommendations on this cream, men like this cream. It has a more unisex scent to it. It's grapefruit and it's a little more medicinal smelling because it has the camphor and mint and the sage in there. So this is a great cream for men as well, especially men that run very oily. So again, this is that client when you say, what is it that really matters to you? They say, breakouts, or that's why they came for facials. And I just tell them, this is our breakout buster cream. I sometimes wonder if I should have named it that. That's probably already, I'm guessing that it's probably already trademarked. I have a client, there's a question here. I have a client with acne and eczema. Will this be good? This would probably be a great cream for them because salicylic is often used for both psoriasis and eczema. What I would probably do with a client that has both acne and eczema is, in addition to this cream, I would probably have them on the Oasis Hydrating Serum. And then I'd also have them on the green tea cream, which we're about to cover in a moment. So, oh, someone just said I'm breaking up. I leaned forward. I might have bumped my mic. Hopefully that's better. So, any other questions on this particular cream? Okay, I'm going to move on. Our next cream is our green tea balancing cream. So this one, the way I describe it is that it instantly balances and heals. This cream meets a lot of different skin types. It's good for your acne or oily skin. It's also really good for inflammation because it has a high amount of turmeric in it. But it's also a good cream for your oily pigmented types. And the reason for that is because turmeric is naturally pigment reducing. It also fades scarring, while at the same time being anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. So when you have a client that says that they have a pigment concern, but they also run oily or sensitive, this is the go-to cream for them because it really does instantly balance and heal the skin. The turmeric in it is anti-inflammatory, so when you have a sensitive skin type that has pigment and you start to use some of the more aggressive ingredients on them, it usually doesn't work. Usually there's too much inflammation being created for it to get results. So this is a way to work on that skin type. I personally really love this cream because I found that it's been the one that has helped more clients with those kinds of issues. And sensitive skin that tends to break out is one of the hardest skin types to work with because a lot of the ingredients and products that are really effective in combating acne and breakouts are too strong and too intense for a sensitive skin type or a very inflamed skin type. The way I explain that to a client is it's kind of equivalent to trying to kill an ant with a sledgehammer. So this is a more mild, balanced approach to working with that skin type. And then, also this is one that they are not going to be concerned about sun sensitivity. So also your outdoor types that tend to run oily combination and have pigment issues, perfect for them. Because the turmeric in there is naturally anti-inflammatory and pigment reducing, but none of the ingredients in this are going to make them sun sensitive. So even if they forget their sunscreen, and a lot of oily people tend to not want to use sunscreen, this is a great one. Okay, so this is, what about a client with dry skin and acne? Good question. Actually, this is a nice cream for them. It does have a touch of oil. It has jojoba oil in it, which is the closest to our skin's natural sebum. But also, usually a client that's dry with acne has damaged skin barrier. So this cream is really good for them along with the hyaluronic acid serum. Our Oasis serum is usually where I will go with them. Because this has a touch of oil, it also has the oats and turmeric. It's soothing and replenishing while at the same time combating acne. In some ways, it's similar to an Ayurvedic approach to the skin, this particular formula. So in terms of selling it to the client, it's really lovely for day or night. I really encourage them to try it on their hand because usually someone that has acne issues or even combination skin can often be very afraid of oil. But again, once they feel this cream, it goes into the skin instantly. It absorbs very nicely and it's completely non-oily. Also has a touch of lime in there too, which is naturally antibacterial. Any questions about this particular cream? Wow, I thought you would all have so many more questions. Uh, Again, in terms of retailing this particular product, how you sell this product to a client is that it restores the balance in their skin. It heals the skin. It's not going to make them sun sensitive and it's not going to make them irritated. It's going to reduce the inflammation and irritation in their skin. Okay, our next one, Lemongrass Enzyme Cream. I have a little secret that we should know Friday, but it looks like we may have won an award for this cream. So keep your eyes out on our Facebook and social media pages. This is Power Resurfacer. Best way to describe it. So this is your client. When you ask them, what is it that matters to you? What is it you want to change? They say their skin is dull and looks old and it's rough and they don't like the texture and they really want anti-aging. They want to reduce lines. Uh, Often they're trying all kinds of stuff. They're over scrubbing. This product has a really nice amount of fruit acids in it. It also has kojic acid, enzymes, a wonderful combination of pigment reducers that are natural botanical lighteners. So this really is our most potent resurfacing cream. I sell this more like a treatment product. I recommend they only start with it a couple nights a week. I tell them that it's about as close to a mask as any of our products would be. We don't have retail masks just because I find that most people don't have time to use them and they just don't really sell. And I don't want you to have anything on your shelf that doesn't move off the shelf. But this is a nice alternative. It's a really nice overnight resurfacing treatment. So I will usually have them start by using it anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week at night. I usually recommend it at night because it has so much fruit acid in it. And if they're not going to be religious about the sunscreen and they're going to be outside at all, you really don't want this on their face during the day. But in terms of a night treatment, because it has the enzymes and it has the fruit acids, it really lifts the dead skin. It triggers the skin renewal. So in terms of selling this particular product, this really is a potent anti-aging resurfacer. Other words that go in there or exfoliator. So a lot of people know that word now, exfoliation. They understand that this is important. This is like a nighttime exfoliation treatment. So almost any of your clients, if they're already using a day and night cream, could benefit from this cream, although you want to stay away from sensitive. This would be way too much for a sensitive skin or your super outdoor types. But in the winter, this is a great one. So in the wintertime, I tend to switch a lot of my clients to this as their nighttime treatment. I start them off 1 to 3 times a week. I try to work up. I personally use this cream every night, but then I've worked up to that and I also use a lot of other products along with it. But this is going to really reduce the fine lines. It's going to improve the texture of their skin. They're going to see a result from it almost immediately, and it smells to die for. Just the combination of the different ingredients in this product give it this really wonderful, it almost smells like a lemongrass chai is the best way I can describe it. Any questions about retail recommendations for this particular product? It is a little oilier, so it's not recommended for your acne client, even though it has a ton of resurfacers in it, unless that client is a very mature acne. So for example, I'm, going to be 52 this year. I've always had acne prone skin. If I'm not careful, I can get a little bit of breaking out, but I couldn't use grapefruit cream. It's just not got enough moisture for me. So this is a nice nighttime treatment. But you wouldn't want to put it on your acne clients because it does have some nice oils in it. Someone asked if I had anyone allergic to lemongrass. I haven't had that yet. I would imagine that there probably are people who are allergic to lemongrass. One of the things that I'd like, well, I was going to mention this at the end, but I might as well put it in here now. If you go to the website, you'll see that we've now put on the website, you can purchase sample sizes of the products now, the creams. And so this is one that I often, if I want to suggest it to someone and I have any concern at all, I'll send them home with a sample. Typically, if people have an allergy like that, they would know, but people can be allergic or sensitive to anything. But we now have available on the website, you can buy a pack of 6 samples of any of the creams and also the sunscreen. They just come in a little 1/4 ounce jar. Right now we just have, a very simple sticker on there that says what it is. We're working to design some nicer ones, but we've been being asked about this for a while, so they are available now. So in terms of being concerned that someone's sensitive or allergic, this gives you now the opportunity to send them home with a sample so that they can actually try the product. Okay, we have Pomegranate Lift Cream. This is our all-around top-selling cream. There's no question this outsells everything else. It's a nice medium weight cream. So if you were to look at our creams, say on a page, top to bottom, and top is the heaviest, bottom is the lightest, this would be right smack in the middle. This product is created so that it can be used on a lot of different skin types. You can use it by itself, or you can use it as a treatment under another cream. And I like to refer to this one as the facelift in a jar. It has DMAE, which is instantly firming. It has arginine and CNAC peptides. Those are peptides that are like the alternative to Botox, topical alternative. It also has amino acids, and it has pomegranate. So in terms of selling this to clients, this is the anti-aging cream. So if you have a client who comes in and they say, I want anti-aging, I'm wanting to fight off the hands of time, I'm wanting to reduce wrinkles, my face is sagging, I want firmness and tone. This is the product for them. It really does give an instant firming effect on the skin, and over time they will see a difference. I've had clients run out of this product, and I swear to God, you would think that they needed brain surgery or something. They call me completely panicked. Oh my God, I'm out of my pomegranate lip cream. Can I come over right now and get some? So this product pretty much sells itself. You don't really have to do a lot of work to sell it. Once you explain to them that it is a lifting, firming, anti-aging cream, there aren't too many clients who don't want it. It also has a really nice smell. But it is important to keep in mind when retailing this that if you have someone who wants lifting and firming, but they also run very dry, it's not going to provide enough moisture for them. So what I often will do is have that client either layer it with the wild berry or the black currant, or they may use this as their day cream and use the heavier cream at night. This is a fantastic day cream. I really recommend always keeping a good amount of this on your shelf, just because you will sell it, because it is such a nice cream for daytime, because it's not too heavy, it's not too greasy, it's that perfect weight for the skin. in terms of applying makeup and not feeling like there's too much moisture on the skin, but it's just enough that it gives the skin the nourishment it needs for the day. And like I said, it is firming on the skin. This is my daytime cream. This is what I use every day. And I guess I probably sound like I'm pretty addicted to it. In terms of selling it though, just again, you have that client who, you ask them, what is it that most matters to you? What do you most want to improve with your skin? And they say firmness. This is the product for them in terms of a face cream. And you usually do not have to tell them very much about it. And once they try it, they're usually pretty well set on this is their cream for good. So we really sell out of this one. Any questions on this particular cream in terms of retailing it to customers? Well, so far not. If someone posts something, I will keep an eye out. Okay, so Wildberry. Again, in the name of the product is what it does. It's our nutrient cream. This is your antioxidant cocktail, fruit cocktail for your face. This is your potent antioxidant product. Now, antioxidants are something that clients often come in and ask about. It's one of those things they've heard everywhere. And clients will come in and say, I want something with a lot of antioxidants, or I read antioxidants are good for your face. Here it is right here. This is all you have to tell them. You don't really have to tell them very much usually when it's that kind of client. But in terms of your process of selling to a client and retailing and asking them what it is that matters to them, this is usually for your client who's wanting to fight off age, but they're outdoors a lot. So maybe they haven't started to show a lot of the signs of aging yet. They don't have a lot of lines and wrinkles yet. They don't have a ton of pigment, but they may be concerned about pigment. And I'll mention in a minute, this is also a great product for pigment people. But in terms of your primary client that you're going to retail this product to is what I call my sun baby. This is my client who, they are really outdoorsy. Where I live is very beautiful. People spend a lot of time outdoors. And so I want to get as many antioxidants into their skin as I can to help boost their sun protection naturally. But it's also your great product for people who live in the city. So if you are a city-based esthetician and you have clients that are getting a lot of environmental exposure and pollutants in their normal everyday life, or maybe they're under artificial lights all day long in an office, this is your intensive antioxidant boost for the skin. Actually, I think that might be better than fruit cocktail for your face. Intensive antioxidant boost for the skin. I'm going to have to write that down. I just came up with that. This product has blueberry, cranberry, raspberry, green tea, rose hips, and ester tea. It's just power packed. This one really is the whole fruit bowl. Half the refrigerator's in there. Let me also say too that blueberry is also is naturally high in arbutin, which is botanical hydroquinone. So a lot of us estheticians that are more organic and natural oriented, we're trying to stay away from hydroquinone, although it's often recommended for pigment. So this is another great product for pigment clients because blueberry is a natural hydroquinone, and so it works to reduce and fade pigment. You combine that with the vitamin C, and this has fat-soluble vitamin C, which boosts the body's natural UV protection, and you have a naturally pigment-reducing product or pigment-preventing product. And it's perfect for that client that is your outdoorsy type that I talked about earlier. They're outdoorsy, they have pigment issues, or, they come and say dark spots, age spots. They don't usually use the word pigment. But we know they're going to be outside all the time because that's just their lifestyle. We don't want to try to use the lemongrass cream on them in the summer because it's going to make them highly sun sensitive, but we do want to address their concern about age spots and dark spots while at the same time addressing their lifestyle need because they're a very outdoorsy person. So this is where in determining products for your client, it's so important that we don't just give them tons of information, that we get information from them. We find out from them. What is it that you care about? Why are you in my office? Why have you come and signed up for a facial or a consultation? Why are you here looking for skincare products? There's a skincare concern that they're wanting to address. And then what is your lifestyle? How do you live your normal everyday life? Are you outdoors all the time? Are you in an office? Are you working in the city? Are you someone who just forgets to use your sunscreen all the time? Or are you someone who is religious about sunscreen and therefore we can put them on tons of fruit acids? These kinds of questions are so important in retailing and recommending products because as we ask them those questions, we can begin to formulate the right routine for them. So, looking at the different kinds of clients, for example, your pigment or your age spot client that's outdoorsy, we know the citrus radiance cream and the wild berry would be good combinations for them. We might have someone who comes in and says, acne is, I have acne, I'm here to get acne treatments, but their skin is also sensitive. Well, then we know the green tea balancing would be a nice recommendation for them. So it helps you to formulate what is the product that best fits that client's needs. And then how do we pick them the right combination? So ideally we want a day and a night cream. That doesn't always work for people. But I've created the blends and the creams so that they can be used for either day or night. And it gives you the flexibility of suggesting wild berry as a day cream or a night cream, or suggesting green tea as a day or a night cream, or pomegranate lift, even though most of our clients use it as a day cream. If you have a combination skin type and you want that medium weight, they can use it twice a day. No reason not to. Okay, so any questions about the wild berry or any questions just in general about retailing and selling the creams and products to people? Okay, someone just asked, will you need sunscreen with this cream? I think you're referring to the wild berry. So my answer to that question always with any product is yes. We want them to use sunscreen. Sunscreen is the number one top anti-aging product of all time. This is what I tell my clients. You have to use sunscreen. But I think also what you might be asking is this particular product going to make them sun sensitive? The wild berry cream will not make them sun sensitive. It's actually designed for the sun sensitive client, the client who isn't as religious about their sunscreen. They're probably going to forget, or maybe, like I said earlier, they're out on the slopes all day and they forgot to put their sunscreen in their pocket or whatever. Or maybe they go to the river and hike for 7 hours all day, or they're someone who rides horses, etc. So someone also asked, will you talk about the tester kit? What products are included? I'm assuming you mean the wholesale. Maybe specify which one. We have a few different kits. We have the wholesale esthetician kit that includes everything in the entire line and sample sizes. We also have a retail display kit for our estheticians. Those are the 1 ounce travel sizes of the creams, full size serums, so that you can have a retail display either in your waiting area or at your retail area. And then we also have the little pre-packed kits that are more retail items. So I think you're talking about the wholesale kit. And if you're asking about the wholesale kit, that includes everything. All the peels, all the retail, everything. In terms of the esthetician display kit, that's just your retail. So as a tester size of all the cleansers, all the toners, all the creams, all the serums, and the eye creams. Someone asked, will I be at Las Vegas or Face and Body? I want to just let people know that I actually am not going to be doing any skincare shows this year. I know you're going to be very bummed to hear that. We made that choice this year for a couple reasons. One is I want to invest some time, money, and energy into some more marketing materials for all of you. We've had really rapid growth in the last couple of years. And I feel like I want to provide more that meets your needs and supports our existing esthetician clientele. And since we are still a small business, there's always the budget. So I'm choosing our budget to go into that more this year, and then we'll do some shows next year. I'm less focused on expanding growth because it's happening very naturally. And I want to be able to support that growth really well. So we want to have shelf talkers and posters and videos and all of this kind of stuff. So that's where the investment focus is going in the business this year. And then also, as some of you may be aware, my mom has had a brain injury and is going to require a lot of help from family. So my time commitment is a little tighter. So those both kind of happen together. And I'm a big believer in things happen for a reason. I had just made the decision not to do the shows this year and focus on marketing materials for all of you. And then my mom had this injury and I'm going to be helping out a lot. So it really worked out perfectly. One of the things that I'm always trying to teach my clients and have to remind myself and remind all of us too is that we really have to take care of ourselves first before we can be there for our clients. And in my business, in addition to my personal clients, my estheticians are my clients. And in order for me to best support you, I also have to take care of myself. And it's really easy for all of us to forget that and to overcommit. One of the ways I want to take care of you is by taking care of myself, but the other is I really want to have more marketing support for all of you. So keep your eye out. We're working on some postcards for the different peel treatments, things that you can use to display the products better, to promote the products better, to educate your clients better, all of that information. It's so, so helpful and so important. Oh, you guys are all so sweet. You're posting sweet messages to me about my mom. Thank you so much. I've just been inundated with wonderful, lovely thoughts from all of you. Okay, so last but not least, I went over in detail what we offer you, the esthetician. So I always have a special offer at the end of every webinar that's just for you that participated today. I do ask that you please don't share this with other esthetician friends. It really is meant to be just for you because you took the time, logged on, followed, listened to me for an hour. So it's 10% off on all of our creams through Friday. You do want to enter the code at checkout. Please email me or call if you ever have a problem with one of the marketing codes not working. I did double check it this morning, but just enter that, and it needs to be all lowercase. If you're not sure where to enter that, you can also email me or call me. It can't be combined with other offers. So if you're a new esthetician and I've offered something special for your opening order, you wouldn't have this on top of that. So just to know that we do have some people on the webinar today that are new. And then if you're not signed up with us already with a wholesale account, to do that, you just go to our website and follow the steps for the wholesale account. We have all online ordering. We have that for a few reasons. One is it means we don't have to hire a huge staff to man the phones and answer questions and take orders for you, which has a higher potential for mistakes. But also, what's really great about the online ordering is that you can go on any time of day or night that works for you. You're not dependent on when we're open to place your order. And it tracks all of your orders for you. So it's really fantastic because you can just print up any of those orders at any time to do your taxes, or if you want to get an idea of how much you've been ordering of this or that, compare it to your sales. You can use it to help manage inventory, et cetera, et cetera. It has some great pluses to it. So if you don't have an account, you'll just need to set one up. And if you are setting up an account this week and you need help, please contact me so that I can make sure that you're able to take advantage of this special through Friday. And that's for all of the creams we covered in the webinar today. Any other questions? So someone it looks like one of you was having a problem with the website. A couple people had problems with the website this week. I'm not sure what it might have been, and I haven't had any issues today. So maybe contact me separately about that. Every so often, I think when they're doing updates, they have strange glitches, and then they're usually gone in 15 or 20 minutes. Someone asked me, will you do a video in your treatment room of a peel protocol? That's a really great idea. Thank you. What I'm intending to do this year is focus on creating a lot of videos because I can't be all over the country. We do have a location here where we can do some classes, but there's a huge call from our estheticians for more video training, especially if you're in Rhode Island or New York or Michigan, and it's not easy for you to come out to California, or we're not going to be in your area. So yes, that will happen, and there's going to be a whole bunch videos for each of the products, videos for the different facials and treatments. It's all going to be coming down the pike. So any other questions from anybody? We did go a few minutes over time. I don't know if any of you have to go. Thank you so much. I always love working with all of you. You really make my day. I love hearing your successes, so please feel free to always go on our Facebook page and post, if you had a really great facial or a client really loved the product. We love to hear about that. Also, post pictures of your retail displays and your facial rooms. We also really love that too. So if you don't have any other further questions, I'm going to let you all go, and thank you again. Thank you all so much for all the loving thoughts about my mom. It's so great to be supported and being able to really put my family in high priority. It really makes a difference. So thank you all again so much. Looking forward to seeing you at the next webinar, and this will be posted on YouTube very shortly, which I completely forgot to mention. We have a new YouTube channel, so keep your eye out because once it's recorded, I will get it up there so that you can refer back to it whenever you need to. Take care so much and have a great day.